Ever heard of Fat Man the Loader? This time, he found his sniper rifle in the hay. Unbelievable. The fat man dragged Newt home, despite his insistence on paying. But since they didn't speak the same language, Newt couldn't make sense of the chattering, but he did catch the word euros, so he quickly called his Euro buddy. She excitedly told her brother, "I've got a foreigner," holding a high-tech gun, as if in a sci-fi movie, totally alien tech. Maybe they could teach him a lesson. Luckily, the farm worker spoke English, so they had a multilingual chat with Newt and found out he wanted to pay. As told the boss, as money talks. Soon, the brother took his weapon to the farm, but just as he stepped out, they were stopped by the cops who said, "Foreign hitman sighting nearby. Where do you think you're going? Don't make me knock on my neighbor's door, that's terrifying." Once he heard this, the brother figured it was time to cash in big. Little did he know, a deadly game awaited them, all because the fat guy insisted on having Newt try his homemade knockoff bread while waiting. Newt was panicking about making his escape when fate swung by. Just as he was packing up, his brother called the fat guy. Noticing the call failed, he hurriedly left a message, warning his brother to beware the foreigner was dangerous. Meanwhile, the fat guy was oblivious. Newt didn't expect the truck he got in wouldn't start. He switched to another and just inserted the key. He saw his brother arrive. While they searched inside, Newt frantically started the truck with a roar. The brother rushed out and shot at Newt. At the critical moment, Newt started the truck, but as he looked down, the truck went straight into the roadside and got stuck on the tires. Seeing this, the brother rushed forward to get revenge, but when he opened, Newt had vanished, then gunfire came from below. Newt stood up expressionlessly, terrifying Raz. He sent his brother away ruthlessly. Raz stepped forward, but his weapon held only blanks. How could he face Newt? So Raz, guided by reason, dropped his weapon and became a hostage. Had Newt not needed a driver translator, Raz would have been shot full of holes. With the pressure of a gun at his waist, he nervously drove on. Newt gazed at the birds flying outside, regretting ever taking that $1 million, but he couldn't turn back, had to fight to survive. He called Raz's phone, then dialed his wife's number. He confessed the trouble he was in and poured out his heart to his wife, saying this could be their last call together, reminding her to take good care of theirs. He expressed his deep love for them. Just an ordinary phone call, but to his surprise, his wife wanted to know where Newt was. She also asked how she could help him, and her concern gave Newt a glimmer of hope. He immediately asked her to bring him a box. His wife, without doubt, saw him as an ordinary businessman hoping he'd return safely after this task. After hanging up, Raz brought Newt downtown. Listening to news of his wanted status and seeing police cars rush by, Newt fell deep in thought. Meanwhile, the black lady arrived at the farm after getting the news. Officers said many fingerprints were found. The fingerprints matched those found at Norman's hideout, proving without a doubt that the fugitive was Wolfjai. She was about to pursue, but she got a call, with Black instructing her to return to HQ at once as Chief raised the chase priority. Newt named it Anubis. Though the timing was poor, an order's an order. The black lady reluctantly agreed, giving Newt a chance to escape. As a top-notch assassin, she shouldn't be so lenient, but Raz line "You are my only one" saved her life and struck deep at Newt's heart. He recalled mercilessly killing many, and worse, being ordered to destroy an innocent village. From then on, he could never be good again. He told Raz to park the truck under the bridge, ordered her hands on the wheel, hesitated to shoot, and glanced at her family photo. Reflecting on his own wife and kids, Newt ultimately broke the assassin's code. He merely threatened Raz that if she sold him out, his associates would pay a visit to her family. He then instructed Raz that if the cops ever asked about him, she should tell them she'd never seen his face. When Raz recovered from fright, she saw Newt was gone and laughed as if surviving a disaster. Meanwhile, Newt called his wife in the crowd. He told her not to contact him and just wait for an email. Before leaving, he tossed his phone into a passerby's backpack and then walked into an internet cafe to dive into the dark. He contacted his supervisor. She said the chaos in Budapest made superiors lose faith in Newt. He replied decisively, "They'll be back in no time and they'll deliver on my promises, but if you dare to renege, don't blame me for flipping out." She asked if he needed help, but Newt said he could manage. Soon after, he received an email from his wife and responded with a link to a hotel. Upon receiving the message, his wife grabbed the box and left the airport. They met at the hotel, despite her resentment. Looking at her husband's guilty eyes, she chose to forgive. Without many words, Newt hurriedly began to change his appearance. The box his wife brought held exactly what he needed. She stood quietly beside, curious about his work. Newt didn't stop, and in a series of operations, his wife watched in awe as her husband morphed into the role of Old Dragon. They both went to the airport, and the guards completely ignored them. After a bittersweet farewell with his wife, Newt left alone. At this point, the black lady and her partner were returning to HQ, coincidentally passing him by. When boarding time came, the plane didn't take off. Soon after, she was shocked to see the black lady and her partner also boarded the plane. They didn't return to headquarters at all. They'd received a tip that the world's richest man would go to Talon in 4 days to launch his new software, and Wolfchai would surely be there. That guy asked Black Lady to go to Talon instead. Fate loves tricks. She sat right before Newt. After arrival, Newt watched as they hopped into the same taxi as him and checked into the same hotel. Once they got to their room, Newt knew the mission would be extremely tough. As he removed his disguise, he debated changing the plan but hadn't found a solution.